What's going on, everybody? David with the LEO Network. Hello to all my law enforcement community. We're back again with another podcast and proudly sponsored by Campbell Harris Security Equipment Company, or CE or CSECO.com, SECO.com. If you check it out, let's see if I can pull this up for you. You got, see if I can pull up their website for you. Yeah, look at these guys. Security Equipment Company. They got this plush website with tremendous amount of products. I got contraband team detection kit, undercarriage inspection mirror. What's this over here? Personal radiation detector. They got a new bit of equipment out, a personal hammer probe. You got to get with these guys. They got testimonials over here. They got all your products in one convenient space. They even got training. If you scroll down here, you can see the training available, videos, press releases, relevant articles, so on and so forth. So by all means, go to seco.com because I got a strong feeling they got what you need, and I have no doubt about it. But a good friend of mine is back from New Jersey, Jasen Ortiz. The company is 000, and we had him on before, but I want to have him back because he's got a new class out he wants to talk about. Plus, we're going to get more in depth on how his training applies to the real world. Jasen, how you doing, bud?
Hey, how you doing there, Dave? Good to talk to you again.
Same old soup, just reheated.
Yep,
Right?
there you go.
How's the world treating you? Everything good?
Treating me good, man. Got back from a small little vacation. Needed it. Need that nice little break.
Everybody needs a break. Was it a staycation? Did you go somewhere?
Staycation. Just took the family out for a few days, just kind of get away.
Sometimes that's the best.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's the best.
Let's be honest, it was actually more for my wife's birthday. So,
Oh, you should have led with that. I would have told her happy birthday when I saw her on the camera there.
no,
Hey,
no.
so
She'll watch this video now. She'll be like, "Oh, I said happy birthday live on the podcast." So,
what's her name?
Kimberly.
Happy birthday, Kimberly. Happy 25th birthday, right? Anywho, so listen, talking to you, I love talking to Jasen. He's got he started his own training company based on a passion that he had for what he believed officers and law enforcement could use more of, and that is shooting, right?
Yeah, I mean that's basically cut and dry right there.
Which, if you're going to be proficient at anything, not just proficient, you don't want proficiency is almost like a four-letter word for you. You want them excelling in knowing their firearms and what situation to be be situational to understand and you want to eliminate bad shoots, basically, so on and so forth. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean it comes down to that confidence level that law enforcement need to have. I mean, I ask you this: if you're going for surgery, do you want the D student doctor working on you, or the A student doctor working on you?
You better give me A-list, baby.
I mean, and people think of law enforcement, and that's what they think. They think that we are, you know, the best of the best, and in some occasions that might not be what it is. It's not saying that they're bad officers. It's just that we lack sometimes training in the most important part of our job, which I think is shooting.
And that was the key with you, right? So you to train them to have the training so ingrained that even in the most stressful situations, the training takes over. That whole cliche that the training takes over, right? I mean, to legitimately put that into play, where the training takes over no matter how stressful the situation.
It comes as natural as breathing. That's what you want to come as to. You want to know that, hey, I'm going into a reload. It's natural. It's basic instinct. You don't think about it. You just do it. And some occasions, you hear a lot of stories of officers involved in shootings, and they can't tell you how many rounds they shot, if they did a reload, or anything, because obviously it's a very stressful situation,
Mm-hmm.
but they black out, and that's not bad. But then you show them the video, and they put 6 good rounds in a center target, and they did a reload flawlessly. That officer had training.
Mm-hmm.
Then sometimes you watch that other video where officer unholsters and they're racking the gun back. Why?
Yeah,
We're not sure to be in the chamber.
it's one's supposed to be in the chamber at all times. I know.
But what do we do? The first thing we do when we get online during qualifications?
Mm-hmm.
First thing you do, you unholster and you rack back.
Mm-hmm.
That's ingrained into them.
So, and that's why, just based on my career and how I treated the range is why I'm so impressed with what you're doing. I mean, look, I don't have I don't have the intelligence to lie, so I'll just tell you straight up. You're in there because you gotta be. You know what I mean? Your thought, and I'm not going to claim that anybody else but me, but I know they're out there. You go there because you gotta, instead of going there to train, right? And so you see this. You see that even the people that go there to train, like to really, even though they're like for us, we had to take a break from during shift to go to the range. So it was almost like an inconvenience, right? But even the people who go there because they want to go in there and they want to shoot and they want to train, it still wasn't enough throughout the year, right? It wasn't enough to stay ingrained. And that's when you decided to step up and do something, right?
Yeah, we stepped up. I saw a lack in my training, and that comes from a military mindset. Quick background on me, I did several years in the Marine Corps, 8 years. Did some deployments overseas in Iraq and did some deployments over in Afghanistan.
Yeah, we thank you for that.
You may need to, but that training you get in the military, I can tell you my first firefight, my weapon system went down and I got it back up and running, and it was natural. I didn't have to think about it because I did so many reps of it. I did so many hours behind it. It just became natural to me. And you may actually kind of made a good point. You get that inconvenience of guys, hey, I know you're on shift. You need to go to range, go qualify real quick and come back to work. Your mindset is already screwed right there. All right, let me just go there, get this done over, get back on shift. I'm already, got stuff going on. Got those guys are like, oh man, I really want to get some training, but it's not provided. So we said, all right, let's fill that gap. Let's fill that hole and offer, affordable and training to law enforcement officers within our state and produce a program that gives them what we feel is crucial to being on patrol. And sometimes it's just the basic fundamentals of shooting. And that's all it really is. The difference between a white belt and a black belt is a black belt mastered the basic skills.
Right.
And
I hear you.
That's the same thing. And we take the basics, we break it down for students to understand. We've had many mentors, teach us. And I think we talked about it one time. You should never just stay trained with one instructor. You should be out there seeking out other instructors. And the reason being is that there might be something you just don't understand. And not saying that the instructor's not good. All right. There's a lot of great ones out there, but maybe you're just not understanding it. And then you come across that one who explains it in a way that it just clicks right away.
Because everybody learns different.
Everyone learns different. Then you look back at all the other times you train with someone and you realize, okay, now I understand what they're saying and now it works for me. So that's what we're there for. That's
why they have 3 FTOs, right? Or multiple FTOs, right? When you learn the gig. Yeah.
You go with different FTOs during your field training, as a person out of the academy, because each of them have a different style and each of them explain things a certain way. One guy might perform it very well and the other guy might explain it very well and the other guy might just do it very bad. So now you learn from that. So going out there and seeking instruction from different instructors is great, but it can, sometimes depending on your schedule, it's not there. There's a lot of great instructors out there, but you might only see them once a year and it might be on the day that you're working. You can't take off. So we said, all right, let's basically give law enforcement officers what they're asking for. Because I went to many courses in my time, and that's the same thing you heard. Man, I wish we had more of this training out of the department. Man, I wish we did this more out of the department. Man, I wish that there was other instructors who could get us out to range and do this. So I was like, all right, me and my partner talked. We're like, dude, why don't we just do it ourselves then? And we kind of just went with it.
That's dope. Before we get into the structure of what you guys are doing there, you keep saying we. So you had a partner you said in this, right?
So yeah, I got a partner. His name is Gabe. He's another Marine Corps veteran.
Hmm.
He served did time overseas as well,
Hmm.
and he actually got out and got it more into competition shooting, USPA shooting.
Oh.
And he trained under a lot of great instructors from JJ
Hmm.
Ricazza, two from Ronin, and then on top of that, he actually linked up with the Recon Sniper Foundation and started teaching with them, being contracted to the military to actually teach the military guys.
He's in deep.
So he basically got into that, and we met up at a class taught by Ronin Tactics too. Found out we lived in the same town, and we're like, "Hey, dude, let's go to the range together." Because I said to him, like, "Listen, I need help. Like, I'm not understanding a few things."
Hmm.
Guy's a great shooter. He's a great instructor, and it's good to have your peer sitting there correcting you and say, "Hey, this is what you're doing wrong. Hey, I can't explain this. Go take this class with this instructor." And I did that, and that's when the door started opening for me. We started training more together. I started seeing improvement, and then I told him, "Hey, listen, man, there's a gap within law enforcement when it comes to training. You know, we basically just said, hey, let's put a class together. You know, had a few friends who are local law enforcement
Hmm.
come out and train. They had a great time. They told someone. They told someone. Before you know, we're getting phone calls, and that's just, hey, let's go legit. Let's actually see if we can make something out of this. And that's kind of basically how it started. And we talked about it one time. It really took me getting rid of my ego to go out there and seek other training.
Seriously, I mean, especially former military, right? I mean,
Yeah.
so I mean, 'cause to go out and get further training, you got to admit that you have flaws, right? And so
Yeah.
that's where your ego comes in. You're talking about.
Yeah. I came out of the military. I was infantry. So I'm around firearms, guns, rifles. I'm around it.
Hmm.
Like, all right, I know this stuff. And I was a pretty good shot in the military. But when I started getting training, and I mean good quality training, I realized I knew nothing. The military trains young 17, 18-year-olds to basically pick up a firearm, know the safety rules, understand how to manipulate it, understand how to clean it, understand how to engage it. Everything else, the tactic wise, you're told what to do and you do it.
It's a different fight, right? I mean,
Right. You're not you're
am
not,
I
you're
right?
not there to think unless you're in a leadership position.
Yeah.
And coming out of that into law enforcement, where you're on the road by yourself and you have to make a decision yourself, and you might be in the fight by yourself. For me, it was like, all right, I got a family and I need to come home to them. And if that means going out there and training and learning this all over again, down to the basic skills of shooting, that's what I'm going to do. Um, I'm training myself to not use my firearm, but if the time comes, I'm able to do it confident and efficiently.
Now, speaking of that, let me segue into something because you mentioned the way the military teaches in a way it's different than in law enforcement, right? Because it's a different type of fight, right? Do you now in the time we live in now, right? I've heard people say, "Well, damn, we almost afraid to shoot now," right?
Yeah.
Uh, how does does that play a part in how you train these officers? That come through your training. I mean, does that play a part, or is it just you just say leave that out of your mind, or does it come up and it's like breathe? Hey, if you got to shoot, shoot. I mean, how do you deal with that new created dilemma by society?
Why you ask yourself, why are officers afraid to shoot? Two reasons: losing their job,
Hmm.
which one actually one of the bigger ones. The other one is they're just don't have that mentality that they
Hmm.
might get into a gunfight, or it might come down to they don't have the confidence in their ability. And with the military, this stuff's ingrained into you,
Hmm.
and it becomes part of you that you don't second guess yourself. And usually in the military, if you're in a shooting situation, it's because it's not like a one-time thing. It's you're going overseas to Iraq, you're going overseas to Afghanistan, and you will be engaged. You will be in a firefight. So get prepared. And before you go, you're like, all right, I need to be dependable for myself and for the guys around me. The
Mm-hmm.
law enforcement officers, you got guys who might go 20, 30 years without ever drawing their firearm out of their holster other than their yearly qualifications. So when that situation is put upon them, they might not have the confidence. So when it comes to training someone in that aspect, it's basically, you know, it's hard. I don't know how to say it. Like you don't want to be a dick to them almost.
Right.
You want to have a good environment at the range, but you got to push stressors on them.
Firm
And
but fair.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
not about yelling at them or anything like that. And the simplest way is putting them on my timer. You could take a law enforcement officer with 20 years experience and one with 1 year experience, and you put them on the timer, they're both going to struggle.
Hated that damn timer.
Yep.
Hated it.
They're going to struggle.
Mm-hmm.
And I do it sometimes too. But doing it over and over again got that fear out of me and made me start realizing my capability of actually engaging, my firearm at a paper target, obviously. But, just get on the range and putting those rounds down range, honestly. And
Both.
some officers, they just don't have that. They don't have a range access, or they don't have anyone to sit there and critique them.
So you and your buddy get started this 000, right? And well, as of now, you're using other ranges, but you're in the process of getting your own range, which is huge, right? If I remember when we talked last, you're in the process of getting your own range, right? But you start 000. How do you get the word out? Like, how does it snowball? Because it's obviously taking off and it's flying, right? We got this beautiful website with with all the structure, all the different levels, which we'll get to. I'll try to pull it up on the screen here. But you're just starting out. How do you get the ball rolling there?
First of all, it's word of mouth.
Because egos, right? Because egos aside, right?
Yes.
You know what I mean?
It's that one guy who wants that training, gets the training, and then tells someone else.
Mm-hmm.
That's how it started. And obviously, you have the social media aspect of it. But when we teamed up with Leo Network, when I came across their website and I ended up speaking to Matt, I was like, oh, listen, you're basically putting the word out for me. And that was another thing. We've had a few people, through Leo Network. A lot of it is going to be word of mouth. Mm-hmm. And there's times where I've actually approached law enforcement officers. I'm like, hey, I'll come out to your range. You come out to my range, and I'll give you a private class.
Right.
And helping them. I actually had one guy took our class. He went back and told his command and a bunch of his guys within his squad. He's like, oh man, I finally got away from shooting static. I went to this range. I was shooting forward, backwards. I was shooting multiple targets. Whatever. And like, yo, where can we do this? And we ended up getting two more, from his department come with us. And then actually had a lieutenant from that department contact me.
I was just going to ask you about the brass.
Yeah. He contacted us. He's like, hey, man, some of my guys took your class, heard about it. I want to give it a try. I want to see if it could help me. He's like, I've been on the job quite a while. And he's like, I just want to improve. I want to be better. Because he believes in that whole leadership aspect that, if I'm going to expect my guys to a certain standard, I need to be in that same standard too.
Yeah.
So, and I started working with him. And that's basically what it's word of mouth.
Well, let's check out the website here real quick, okay? And it's perfect because we can say it for the people. It's 000.com, is that right?
000tactical.com, easy way to do it. Google.
Tactical. Or don't forget the tactical. 000tactical.com. You can't see what I'm doing here, but I'm pulling it up. You know what I mean? Now let's see here. I'm trying to get it up for the people because I looked at this website and I remember somebody pulled when I pulled it up and somebody was like, "Yo, what is that?" I mean, just the website itself got them want to know more. You know what I mean? See, there it is. Right? Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it good. There you go.
Yeah, that's beautiful right there. So look at this. So advanced training. That's what I'm going to ask you about the training first. Is this isn't just for law enforcement, right? I mean, because like civilians who want want to get a firearm, and then they want to know the ins and outs. They want to learn to shoot this thing. I mean, you're open to anybody who wants to do this, right?
We're open to current military, active military, retired military. We're open to civilians. As you
Hmm.
know, New Jersey is a CCW state.
Oh yeah,
So with that, people need to have, I believe if you're going to be concealed carry as a civilian, you need to be properly trained. And that's where a lot of our business actually comes from too, is private civilians. And they end up telling their family member who end up being a law enforcement officer.
yeah.
Again, it's that word of mouth, but you'd be surprised. And that's the crazy thing, that the mindset you get from civilian and law enforcement is the mindset of, you know, these civilians, they are looking for this training. They want this training and they're willing to pay for this training. So their attitude towards training is a lot different, where they just sit there like staring at you and just soak everything up like a sponge.
Yeah. You find it do you find a lot of eagles you're gonna get past, or do people leave their eagles at the door most of the time?
You come across a few here and there,
Uh,
but that's usually that guy who we like to call the tactical guy. You know, he's got
I
the
love that, man. I'm gonna use that. I'm stealing it right now.
he's got
Tactical.
he's got all the gear and everything like that. And
Yeah,
honestly, we humble them really quickly in a
good.
very nice way.
Yeah, we're supposed to, I mean, stay humble. I mean, you know what I mean? Don't anybody know everything. You know what
But
I mean?
I'll tell you what, I shot with civilian. My partner is a civilian. He's retired military, but he's technically a civilian, and he outshoots me every single time. And that's where I knew I had to work on myself.
You got stuff to learn.
Yeah.
Like
Actually,
so,
if you actually go down, actually go to our
let
courses.
me yeah, let me pull it out here. Actually, let me how do I get into this bad boy? Hold on. All right, our courses. Can you see
Yeah,
it?
yeah. Go to the top. It says our courses right there.
Okay, our courses. Got it.
So if you just scroll down a little bit, so right there off the bat, you see the private training police academy recruit.
Uh,
That's going to be for a private civilian who just wants that one-on-one training, or
uh,
if they want to do like a group of friends. Also, it's going to be for that guy who's going into the academy, and the highest dropout rate in the police academy is going to be range week. That's where
it's
most recruits fail. Right there.
and that's the quals, right? And the
Yep.
timers and stuff like that.
Yep, that's a qualification. So
Uh,
we designed a course to basically teach them what you're going to learn in the academy in a non-stressful situation, and we put them through the same exact qualification that they would get at the academy, and we start building that confidence right away. Um, you can also see on there our CCW course, that's for the civilian, and then you see intro to tactical rifle. You have intro to tactical pistol, and if you scroll down just a little bit more, it's our newest class we just added on there, the fundamentals of red dot pistol.
oh, that's the new one there.
Yep. So that right there, a lot of departments are going from iron sights to red dots.
Oh,
And
is that right? Man, I've
yeah,
been out the game for a little while, so
yeah. A lot of
okay.
departments are going that, and a lot of civilians are going to red dots too, because they start seeing how proficient and how well you could be with the red dot. So we actually design a course just specifically just for that, strictly red dot. We don't teach any tactical aspect of it. We teach you how to zero your red dot, understanding your red dots, and then firing the red dot out of the holster. Then obviously we have our tactical classes where we get more into movement, multiple targets, distant targets.
Hmm.
And then we actually have another class, which it's not on there right now,
Okay.
but it's rifle and pistol.
Now, the advanced one, is that where you're doing quals and stuff like that, or is that just
So the advanced class, that's going to be, so you got your intro pistol class you see right there. The advanced
yeah?
class is going to be, actually, if you go to, I think, try About Us. I think it's that one. If you scroll down, I don't see it there.
Got the testimonies. Love that.
Yeah. So that's me. That's my partner right there. That's both of us. You know, some.
Man, that dude looks intimidating. You can tell him I said so too.
I'm
Well,
not quite sure where I put it, but if you actually go follow us on Instagram or
yes.
TikTok or YouTube, you actually can see our videos of our advanced classes, and that's going to be your pistol and your rifle class. That's going to be pistol only, but now we're
Mhm.
shooting from a prone position. We're shooting from behind cover. We're shooting multiple targets. We're shooting, you know, while moving. You're shooting and reloading at the same time. You're shooting, communicating with a partner. So it's a lot more advanced tactics than just, you know, the basic fundamentals. Now we continue harping on those basic skills. Um, so that's our advanced classes, and we do those, you know, outdoor, indoor, wherever we can kind of get access to a range. If we can get a department to basically contact us, we'll come out to them and teach their squads, or, you know, if they have a range we can access, we'll teach them, you know, that.
You said you're about to get to a range yourself, right?
Yeah, so we're in the process of actually opening our own private range.
That's awesome.
It's
Yeah.
in the works, and you know, we've done a few classes there so far, and we're kind of hoping that, you know, eventually takes off. But you know, right now we're just focusing, just getting it, you know, to where we want it to be. We
Uh,
want a range that's going to be, you know, not just shooting straight. We want to shoot left and right, and you got to have that properly built.
and it's taken off because you got to get you know you felt the need to get a range, folks. I just want to say that I mean that's why it's taken off, because not only is it needed, it's wanted more than people would admit. You know what I mean? It might be one of those things where they want it, they just won't say it aloud. They're kind of sneak it into your school there, right? I mean,
Yeah.
you know how people work. What about the shop here? You got the shop here. I mean, you sell holsters. Oh, okay.
So I need to update that. We do have a lot of partners we work with and everything like that. So
Uh,
the shop, we're eventually going to start putting, you know, our merchandise, some of our gear. One of the things like the hat I'm wearing right now, you can purchase that on the shop. I just got to get everything uploaded.
I love the
Um,
shirt.
yeah, I'll get you one. I'll send you that one. Just tell me your size.
Ladies and gentlemen, you see how I did that there? I just hustled.
I'll get you a shirt, man. It's not
Not
a big
bad,
deal.
thanks, brother. I appreciate it.
But you know, we do work with some good companies that we're going to put their equipment on there. One of them is Ghost Holsters, real good
Mhm.
company. They make tactical holsters. They also make competitive holsters, and they just make conceal holsters. Another company we partner up with is Liquid Drip. Listen, I'm very big on gun maintenance.
Mhm.
It's therapeutic for me. My wife could tell you that I'll sit there for hours cleaning my guns.
Plus a necessity, right? I mean,
Yes, it is.
yeah.
But she hates the smell of gun cleaner.
Mhm.
She hates it. She can't stand it, and it drives her nuts. So I came across this company, Liquid Drip. I checked them out, and I was like, all right, cool. Let me try some of their product. And I'm sitting there cleaning my weapon and everything like that. And then my wife looks at me. She's like, oh, wait a minute. I don't smell anything. I was like, yeah, this stuff has no odor. It doesn't have that smell. But on top of that, the product is amazing. Like it does some work, and it burns at a higher burn rate than your normal CLP.
Okay.
So the likelihood of you getting a jam, you know, because of overheating is a lot lower now because it burns at a higher rate.
I already got the motto: clean your
Yeah,
gun and you won't stink.
there you go.
Like
So
old Johnny
listen, you know,
Depp.
that's one company. You can use one of our promo codes. It's on our website. You know, go on there. You get, I think it's a 50% discount. We just teamed up with Grizzly Targets to get now steel to our range. So now we have steel at our range.
Taking off, man. I love
Uh,
it.
other company is going to be Infinity Defense. They make uh, they are self healing targets.
Mhm. Self
So
healing targets. Explain that.
so this is actually pretty cool. Their company, they
Uh,
basically took like tires, shredded tires, and made a molding target in like a USPA shape.
uh-huh.
And you paint it white, just like you would do on a normal steel. And when you shoot it, it gives you an indicator. It shows you where your shot was.
Uh-huh.
The cool thing is that steel, when you shoot at steel at a range, you have to be no closer than 10 yards. You gotta have a 10-yard distance.
Yeah.
All right. So that takes away training from you sometimes.
Mhm.
All right. You know, that takes away that, you know, that close engagement or shooting from her attention. Well, these are self-healing, and since they're made out of tire, you could shoot up to 1 yard, and there's no splatter or nothing. There's nothing backfiring on you, and it looks like steel. So
Oh,
if you go back to the website,
yeah.
see if you can
Stand by.
pull it up.
Stand by.
Yeah.
Okay, here we are. Can you
Now
see it?
go to home.
Home.
Yep. Scroll all the way down. So a bunch of stuff there, but right here, and these are all our partners, right? So if you go there, there's
Okay.
there's a Mantis. That's a dry firing company that we teamed up with.
Okay.
Keep going down, right there. If you click that the picture right there, yep, it should bring you to their website.
Oh, dear.
Did it bring you there?
Yeah. You can't see it, huh?
No, we can't see it.
Stand by. I'm gonna let everybody see it. Give me a sec here.
Yep.
Can you see it?
There you go. So there.
Yeah.
So basically, they're reusable targets. They're not like cardboard. They're not like steel. It's like in the middle.
So kind of like the best of both worlds.
Basically, so you can shoot up close. You can shoot far away. It gives you a visual indicator. You know, with steel, people like steel. They like that sound, right? For me, I like a visual because if you're shooting distance with steel, you might hear the sound, but you don't actually know where your shot is.
I was always a wood bat guy, not a
With these, you actually get a visual indicator, and all you do is take some white spray paint, spray over it, and you're ready to go again. And these targets take thousands and thousands and thousands of rounds before you have to consider, basically replacing it.
Oh yeah, so you spend 3 yards for 4 of them, but you don't have to replace them forever.
Yeah, for a while, and that's why they're called Infinity.
Man, that's why I'm not a cop anymore, because I'm supposed to be a trade observer, and I didn't even notice that damn word Infinity.
So with companies like this, it took our training to a different level. You know, we actually use these targets a lot in our indoor ranges that we train at.
Okay. Man, yeah, this is like gangbusters.
Yeah. So again, the promo codes are on our website. You put our promo code in there, you get a 10%, I think it's a 50% discount with them.
50 or 15?
15.
Oh man, you had the whole world going, really? Yeah, everybody on the website immediately.
Yeah, 15% discount with them. So teaming up with companies like that saw like what we were doing and like, yo, we kind of like what you're doing. But like those targets there for indoor, game changer. It was a game changer for us. Paper, you get so many rounds through it, you got to replace it. You know, they're falling apart. You know, with these, it was different.
Yeah. I mean, that's the whole pain in the ass is taking them down, putting them back up, taking them down, putting them back up.
Yeah, this one you take some spray paint, spray over it, and you're ready to go. Again, you go on our Instagram, you can see videos of us using these targets.
Ooh, we'll have to check that out.
Yeah, check it out. So,
but what I was going to ask you is, I mean, this is huge right now. I mean, you guys look just from the last time we spoke. I mean, this stuff is just growing and growing. At you know what I'm saying, the stuff that's on that site. So, I mean, do you find people coming from out of state? Do you go out of state? I mean, do you travel and do people request you say, hey, come teach our agency or come teach our group?
So we actually had this was like one of the it was like I was like, man, I think we might have something here. We had a guy from Maryland, 3.5 hour drive. He came to one of our classes. Not once, not twice, 3 times. And he's actually coming out to the Red Dot class. And I told him, like, listen, man, I appreciate you coming out here. We'll come to you. If you get, say, so many guys, and you have range access and it's law enforcement, we'll come to you. So yeah, we are very open, coming to different states, and training whoever it is, whether it be civilian or law enforcement. We really like to help law enforcement, and we do give discounts to them too. That's the thing.
I have a feeling you might be retiring pretty soon, and
I wish.
because you'll have to do this full time. I mean, think about it. I mean, there's a reason why dudes are driving 3.5 hours. There's a reason why you got equipment companies on your site and that you partnered up with, because this is a big deal, and that's why exactly why what what we try to do with LEO Network is to show this kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Because this is making people better. And speaking of that, what I want to do is, because you had brought it up, so we figured out a way to get it up there. We want to incorporate what you're teaching into the real world. You know what I'm saying? Can we do that? I mean,
Yeah. So like
got a couple situations that we were talking about.
the main and to hit that point, like you said, like the main reason we're here is to close that gap, is to get officers away from qualifying twice a year, and that's it.
Mm,
Is to expose them to good quality training, but expose them to things that they're not used to. Shooting in a prone position, shooting and moving, shooting multiple targets, shooting multiple targets at a certain time, what we call a part time.
mhm.
It's basically, the things I feel that are lacking in our training as law enforcement officers is to get away from the mindset that qualification is training. It's not. You go there to qualify, that's what you're there for. It's not, qualification is not training. You're there to qualify. Training needs to be set at a different time.
Qualification is a result of the training, right?
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And you see a lot of videos out there on YouTube, and as with body worn cameras now, anytime a shooting happens, a law enforcement shooting happens, videos are up within a week. All right. There's certain laws that require that these things have to be given to the public
And critiqued to no end.
And at that point, it's basically a 6-second decision. All right. Is basically nitpick for 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah.
And think about that for a second. A 6-second decision. All right. What if I could train you to give you more time to make that decision because you have more confidence in your ability? That 6 seconds, a lot of decisions are made because of fear, because of lack of confidence, that they think their first result is to unholster and start shooting.
Mm-hmm.
What if I can give you more time? Or what if I could make that short, make that 6 second, make you so proficient that there's no questioning what you did. And that's coming out of the holster, engaging your target 6 times in 3 seconds, which I don't think is a lot to ask.
Right.
7 yards. All right. And it's called a bill drill. All right. To me, it should be the standard for law enforcement officers. 6 rounds, 7 yards, an A zone target in 3 seconds out of the holster. That's not a lot to ask. You watch some of these videos and, I don't like critiquing what happened because I haven't been put in that situation, and I hope I'm never in that situation. But you look at it and you're like, man, if that guy just had a little bit more training, maybe this outcome could have been a little bit different. Or you could look at a video like, yeah, that guy has some training. He spent some money,
Yeah.
And that's what happens when I look at these videos. It's not like, oh, it's a good shoot or a bad shoot. We could sit here all day and nitpick it. I look more at, was that guy flagging someone? Were they communicating with their partner? Was their grip proper?
Mm-hmm.
And that's just me just being, I guess, an instructor, is like, man, that guy needs some more training. And I think I sent you a few videos.
Yeah, so we got a couple of them, and I want to say that's why it's a big deal for these videos, because we're not, and that's why I like that we're doing it with you, because I know you're not going to nitpick. You're just going to simply show, okay, this is what happened, right? You're not making it up. Boom, we're going to see what happens. Here's why it happened. Here's how we train for that not to happen, or here's how we train. That's why he did this correctly, or something like that, right?
Yeah,
So
basically that's what it is.
I got 2 of them up. Both of them very different. Both of them very different. One is from your neck of the woods, Edison, you said, right?
Yeah, so that actually happened, the township next to me where I actually work at.
And we're good to
And
show these, right? We're good to
yeah,
show
we're
these.
gonna show these, and I tell you what, this officer did an amazing job.
Okay, so you want to get down on that one then?
Yeah, let's just watch it and then we'll break it down real quick.
Okay, give me a sec here.
So, quick story on this one.
Yes,
We're dealing with a what we call EDP, an emotionally disturbed person.
Mm-hmm.
All right, he basically comes out with a hatchet in his hand. All right, and he starts charging one of the officers, and we're gonna take it right from there.
Okay, so the mentally challenged, I forgot what you called it.
Emotionally disturbed person.
Emotionally disturbed person, hatchet.
Someone who's having some type of emotional crisis.
And you've
Now,
had
it could
contact
be
with.
due to drugs, alcohol. It could be due to a mental state. It could just be due to just having one of those days. Because as law enforcement officers, we only deal with people on their worst day.
Yeah.
We don't deal with people on a good day. No one calls us, hey, you want to come over some coffee and tea? No, they're calling us because something's going on.
And you've had contact with this cat before. They've had contact with this dude before, right?
Yeah, from what I understand about the re thing, they've had multiple encounters with this male.
Okay, EDP with a hatchet. He's coming out. We're going to take it from there. And stand by and we'll get it up there for you. You said the Edison one. All right, here we go.
Oh, buddy, come on. Dude, seriously, put it down. Put the weapon down. Put the weapon down. Put it down. Put it down.
Pause it right there.
Pause it. All right.
Pause it. First thing I'm going to ask you, how many shots did he fire?
5.
You think 5?
No. Hold on.
So roll it back. 6:15. Right there.
There. Here we go.
Let's try to count the shots here.
Oh, buddy, come on. Dude, seriously, put it down. Put the weapon down. Put the weapon down. Put it down. Put it down.
Bro, I was close. Come on now.
Hey, but look at that. He fired 4 shots. I would say that range, 5 yards, 7 yards, maybe.
Yeah. I mean, they let him run up on him pretty good.
Yeah, but look at he's backing up and shooting at the same time.
Okay.
When have you done that during qualifications?
Man, I remember doing it in some sort of training, but I don't think I've ever done it in quals.
Okay,
Now, as a matter of fact, you don't do it in quals. You're always moving forward.
No, you don't even move. Well, for us, we don't even do that. Everything's static. You're standing still. You're not.
Oh, that's true because you're from behind cover.
The most you might do is from a kneeling position.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
So this officer, great job he did here. Verbal commands, everything like that. He's backing up, and he's engaging 4 times.
Okay.
Right. That right there is, I can tell you, if you ask him right now, hey, have you ever trained for that? He'll tell you no. He's never trained for that.
And why do you say that?
Because we don't.
Oh, because he was backing up. You're saying
he was backing up. Yeah. If you watch the video, he's backing up.
Right. Both officers actually. Right?
Both of them. Now, both officers did shoot.
Right.
This video had a better angle, I believe, watching this. Okay. And again, I'm not, I don't want to say here, like, oh man, this officer did a horrible job. Did a great job. Great job. But watch the video again and watch his grip.
Okay. Let's get in it. So we're going to go back to 6:15.
6:15, and now watch his grip. He comes out of the holster and watch his grip.
Okay.
Oh, buddy, come on. Dude, seriously, put it down. Put the weapon down.
Oh.
Put the weapon down. Put it down. Put it down.
Okay, overlapping thumbs. I can see that.
So, listen, I've seen people shoot like that very accurately, and I don't change it. I don't.
Okay. All right.
But I could tell you that guy, adrenaline was pumping so much that when he came out of the holster, he forgot to get a proper grip.
Right.
So that's what we train for. That's what we're here for.
I'd have never even looked at that.
No. And these are things I look at, and I'm not knocking this officer. I think he did an amazing job. It was a good shoot, and he hit his target. very accurately.
Mm-hmm.
Right, very accurately. I ended up reading the report and everything like that. But he doesn't remember doing that if you talk to him.
And I like the, and then he shot just to stop the threat. That's it. I mean, it wasn't like unload, reload, unload again. You know what I mean? Like that, like we're perceived of doing. You know what I mean?
Now go back one more time.
One more time.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Again, these are the things I think about.
To 6:15, right?
6:15. Before you hit play,
Mm-hmm.
do you know the 4 safety rules?
Yeah, don't make me repeat them though.
I'm not gonna make you repeat them, but one of them is know your target will lies beyond it.
Right.
Okay, play the video game. I want you
down range. Know what's down range, right?
Yeah, keep that in mind.
Okay.
Know your target will lies beyond.
Gotcha.
Go for it.
Oh, buddy, come on. Dude, seriously, put it down. Put the weapon down. Put the weapon down. Put down. Put it down.
What's behind them?
Apartments.
What could be in those apartments?
Children eating cereal.
And these are things that I don't think people think about. And that's the reason why we try to train to a level of being so proficient that without a doubt, you're going to fire your gun because you have confidence in your ability to hit the target. That also had confidence in his ability.
And the officer on his left was almost in the way.
He was close.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, he was close. I mean, he wasn't. But, oh my gosh, he was close. I mean, but he was,
Yeah, there's a lot going on in that video right there.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on there. And I think everything, they did a great job.
Good.
Good. One of the someone I work with knows that officer personally, and he's like, hey, crazy thing is that, I've had a little bit more training than just qualifications, This officer in that video right there, he got out of the holster, he engaged 4 times, probably within 4 seconds. Giving verbal commands, backing up.
Yeah.
There's some officers who they will hesitate in that moment because they don't have the confidence or they're afraid of, missing their target and hitting that building. And now they're dealing with a lawsuit or dealing with the command, nitpicking them.
Yeah.
Best way to not, have those fears is training, is getting out there and training for those situations. Going at 1 yard, backing up, 5 yards while shooting your target. Going forward, going left, going right, coming out of the holster quickly, coming out of the holster, shooting single-handedly. We do that during qualifications, but not for time, not while you're moving, not while you're reloading. And that's where we want to fill that gap in.
Overall, pleased with the shoot.
Yes.
Okay.
You need to have confidence in your ability. And I 100% believe that, if you have 100% confident in your ability, that you're going to make a better decision.
Okay, well, so now let's switch gears then. Yeah.
So let's switch gears. Let's go to this other video I sent you, Michigan. This one was actually hard for me to watch.
Okay, lay the groundwork on it.
So I don't know the full groundwork on this one. Okay,
right.
But from what I understand, that there was possibly a domestic violence issue, and they want to get in the house and possibly arrest this person. You can hear in the video she's saying, "You ain't got a warrant. You don't have a warrant. You don't have a warrant." All right. Unfortunately, when it comes to domestic violence, everything's off the table. You're under arrest. You're coming in the house. You don't need a warrant. That's law enforcement. But I want you to watch the video, and we're probably going to play it for like a good minute and just see what's going on there and see if you could pick anything off right off the bat.
10-4. Let's get it.
Back up! You ain't got no warrant. Go. Hey, watch out! Hey! Back up!
Okay, couple things here.
All right. So let's break it down. Tell me what you see. We'll play that back again eventually, but break it down. What do you see?
All right, first and foremost, everybody scattered for one. Okay, like, but the first thing I noticed was, okay, the first guy climbing the fence, he's head on, but he's still vulnerable as hell, right? Then you got the second dude climbing over the fence in that fatal funnel, right? Or the window
Yeah, the
with his
call fatal funnel.
back turned to the window as he's getting out, right? Or as he's climbing the fence, right? So his back's turned, he's vulnerable. He's dead. He's done ski if anything is going on from the inside the house, right? Then you got people firing everywhere, and then there's a guy that you don't see, you only see his weapon raised, and it's pointed right at the back at one of them officers. But he didn't fire it, thankfully.
Yeah.
But it almost like there was no intended target when they were firing. Well, at least one of them. You know what I mean? Because it was just all in disarray. Am I right or no?
Dude, that was a chaotic thing. Again, I don't know the full situation on there. I believe she did have a weapon. I don't know the full situation, so I'm not even going to touch that. What I'm going to touch is one of the things I saw there is there's a clear view of the one officer shooting, and you can see him shooting. You see his gun recoiling. Yeah. Did you see how the gun was recoiling?
No, let's look at it again.
Look at it again.
What do we gotta do on that?
It was 6.
Oh, here it is, right here. Oh, stand by. That was it right there, right?
All right, see how that you see how that gun's recoiling real high?
Yeah, I was just gonna say I didn't know if that was what you were talking about or not.
That's grip, man. That's bad
grip.
Is it? That's bad grip.
Well, let's look at his grip again.
I can't see it on my end, so you go open it up.
Oh, you can't see it?
No, not right now.
Tell me, can you see it now?
Nope.
Stand by. We're gonna make it where you can see it. You can see it now, yeah?
Yep, there we go.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Back up!
The pause right there?
Yeah.
You just see how that gun's jumping?
Yeah, yeah.
There's no recoil management there.
Almost like he didn't have
and
control
no control
of the
firearm.
Stand by. Okay, so there's a perfect angle of his grip there.
But look at his grip. You can see his grip. Hit that thumb's tucked now. If you hit play, you're going to watch that gun just jump all over the place.
Back up!
Yeah.
Back up!
So again, in a stressful situation, you're going to forget the basic fundamentals. And that's what happened. I'm pretty sure that guy's a great shot. All right. But in that stressful situation, he didn't get out of the holster fast enough. He was like, all right, he's shooting before he even made a conscious decision what he's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we want to do. We want to mitigate that. We want to give you that extra time to get out of the holster, get a good grip, good sight picture, and engage the target. I can tell you right now, he did not focus on his sights.
Yeah.
That guy saw a threat. He was in a bad situation and he had to engage. If you play that video again, you're going to see those two officers engaging, and there's an officer behind the balcony, and she just starts shooting.
Can you
play
see?
From right there. Yeah, play from right there. Right here. So watch that female right there.
Hey, watch out!
Keep watching.
Hey! Back up!
So, that's muscle discipline.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Communication, we want to mitigate that. Nothing wrong there. Again, I'm not sitting here outside the box, tearing these officers apart. They did what they had to do, and it was a good shoot. All right. But we want to work in the 0% mistakes.
Well, let me ask. I mean, so I tell my nephew all the time. He's a boot now with the CHP, but he got young in the game, but you know complacency kills. Complacency kills. And now what I'm asking you is, if you look at the beginning before shots are fired, you got a guy when it shows him jumping over the fence, that second angle, it shows a guy leaning up against the fence, legs crossed. The guy to his left, kind of like nothing's gonna happen, right? So complacency, right? Like
Yeah.
they're acting. So when you're acting like that, when you don't think anything's gonna happen, you're not prepared for anything to happen.
Correct.
And then it causes the chaos. Am I saying that right? Am I
And that's
analyzing
what
that
it
right?
causes that complacency. Which is another bullshit call. It's gotta do whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, we all know what's going on in the world right now, and I support it. New Jersey is a concealed carry state.
Mm-hmm.
You're allowed to carry a firearm as long as you're legally allowed to purchase a firearm, and you go through the proper training. That means that the percentage of you possibly coming across someone carrying a firearm these days is a lot higher than it was a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
You need to treat every situation like that now. You need to go, all right, I'm going to a normal call, but everyone dealing with, they most likely have a gun. Don't put yourself in a bad position, number one. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And number two is you should be training for that moment, because the chances of you being in an engagement are a lot higher than it was a year ago when we didn't have that.
So you better
Now,
practice like you play.
most law-abiding citizens who are allowed to purchase a firearm and are legally allowed to carry a firearm are not doing these type of things. But your mindset needs to change still, because they could be having a bad day, or they just might slip through the cracks,
Mm-hmm.
or they might be impaired by drugs or alcohol. You don't
Mm-hmm.
know. So you need to now think about that and train yourself to a higher standard, so that you make better decisions and you get home safely.
I love that. And again, I think you agreement when I tell you, when I make sure we say that the videos are simply shown to say, hey, listen, let's just make sure we train right.
Mhm.
Let's just make sure we keep our wits about us, keep our heads on straight, and prepare for the unexpected, right? So it's not as unexpected as even if it is unexpected, we're trained. The training kicks in and we can get home safe, right? That's the only reason we're showing these videos and talking on it, right? And you wanted to stress that. I mean,
Yeah.
Did I say that how you wanted to hear it?
Basically, and you know what? One thing we do, like me and my partner, like I'll send him, dude, check out this shooting right here. Like, can you believe that? Like, watch it. And we'll reset it. We'll set it up back at the range. We'll set up that almost same scenario at the range and run it.
Love that.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
That officer had 5 seconds to do this. All right. Can we do it in 3? Can we do it in 4? Can we do it one-handed? And we bring those situations or those drills to our students. Hey, if you could do this, if we can now train you to do this, you're going to know when you go out there that you can. I mean, I don't know how to put it in a more professional way without repeating myself, but
Right.
if you could shoot left-handed because your right hand's down and you could do it at 10 yards while moving, you're going to feel confident, and you're going to feel better while you're on the job, man.
I don't mean to make light of the situation, but when I got a gun in my left hand, I bet you almost shot my foot off 13 times, right?
and that's where you got to put the gun,
Yeah, see, that's why, hey, you know what? I'm going to send everybody to you, but I ain't coming because I know you're going to make me do what I don't want to do.
Yes.
In order to be able to do it. And I don't dig that.
One thing I always had a problem with was reloads.
Uh-huh.
I would try to go so fast, I would booger them up.
Yeah.
I would booger them all up, And I was like, all right, well, I'm going to train that and work at it. And one thing, and even now when I teach the class, and I'm like, I tell my partner, hey, I'll teach the reloads because I suck at it.
Man, you bigger man than I am. I tell you.
But it's like, all right, I need to do it under pressure. And being an instructor, you do it in front of your students. You got to do it right. You got to do it professionally.
The concept that took me the longest to finally understand and implement Smooth is fast.
Smooth is fast.
You know
And
what I
it took
mean?
me a while to figure that out.
And I was like, no, fast is fast. You know, and then a few toes gone later. You know what I mean? Okay, let me just do it smooth.
And I'm a firm believer that we don't ask you to do anything we can't do ourselves.
I hear you.
That's our main thing.
Mm-hmm.
If we're going to tell you, all right, go online and I want you to shoot 10 rounds at this target and 10 seconds at 25 yards, we're going to do it before you do it to show you that it's possible. I've been to courses before where instructor would tell you to do a drill and they don't demonstrate it because they can't do it themselves.
Yeah, then their excuses. I'm a great coach. You don't have to be a great player to be a great coach, right?
Exactly. So everything we teach, we've done ourselves,
Uh-huh.
or we spent hours at the range doing, and that's one thing we take pride in. That hey, if I can do it, trust me. If I can do it, you can do it. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. I'm a Marine. I'm a crayon eater. But
you say crayon eater?
Yeah, that's what they call us, crayon eaters.
Well, the dude in my academy, our company, he was a drill sergeant in the Marines. He used to call us window lickers.
Yeah, that's another one.
I used to piss me off, boy. Window lickers.
You're a window licker,
Hey, the next time I get y'all, we're gonna get the intimidating dude on here. What's his name again? Gabe.
I told him, I was like, dude, can you do it? He's like, oh man, I guess I picked up some overtime and everything. I said, the next one. So
you tell Gabe
on there, yeah.
You tell Gabe I ain't having 000 on again until I get his intimidating ass on the screen. You know what I mean? I'd love to have his input and hear what he has to say too. You know, I mean, the three of us together.
We both think alike, but we also see things different too, and that's why I like training with him. I had to change my thought process of training, and he opened those doors for me.
Mm-hmm.
And he introduced me to other instructors, like, for example, JJ Ricazza. You gotta look him up.
JJ
Ricazza. He's a USPA shooter. All right.
Mm-hmm.
He does not do any military, police, tactical training, anything like that.
Right.
He teaches you how to get out of the holster quick, how to shoot real fast, how to move and shoot real fast, and hit your target very accurately. But that was some of the best training, because if you really truly think about it, that's the training that we most likely are going to have to use.
Dude, can we get him on?
I wish we could get him on there. JJ would be great to get on here. I'll talk to him, but that guy's a busy dude.
Well, listen, another reason why I wanted to get you on here is because, you're going to be one of the people that I guarantee that people are going to know, we're going to talk to quite a bit, because stuff is happening in the real world. Mm-hmm. And part of this whole thing is not only to show people, hey, you can get better. Here's a way to get better, right? But also to nip stuff in the bud. So you get a shooting. It's all over the news, right? The more it's on the news, the more they're critiquing the officer, right? If that happens, I'm calling you, and we're getting on, as soon as you're available, so we can talk about it and break it down and say, hey, listen, hold on, here's what's going on, right? And it'd be cool to have you and Gabe, all three of us, rapping about it and nip it in the bud before the wrong information gets spread like wildfire. You know what I'm saying there?
And that's the thing, it's never good when you have a police involved shooting. It's never good.
Never.
No officer wants to use his firearm.
Right.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to ever have to use it, but I train to use it. That's the mindset I think all officers need to have, though. We don't want to use it, but I want to train to a high level standard that if I do have to use it, because you're going to get nitpicked. People are going to sit there and hit the backwards button like we just did, and just sit there. Well, he could have did this. He could do that. The one I hate the most. Well, why don't they just shoot him in the arm? Just shoot him in the arm and disable them. Okay, I guess in a term, Karen.
Well, hey, don't forget you had somebody in the Oval Office said, just shoot him in the leg.
Just shoot him in the leg. Listen, we have officers who can barely shoot them in the torso. You want to shoot them in the leg? Let's be real. You've been to the range, you've seen it, Uh, you're talking about taking a torso or upper body and shooting someone's small leg while they're moving or running. Like, come on.
Hey, we're gonna close here in a minute, but before we do, maybe you'll like this story. There's a cat. He's a Marine.
Training.
I wonder if Matt will get mad if I say his name, because he's a funny, probably the funniest dude I ever met. His name is Jeff Batici, and he was a range guy. And this dude, was messing around, and we had the ARs out, right? Because we're doing all three weapon systems, right? And we were maybe 7 yards, and it was kind of like boom, up and shoot, right? And I was missing this damn target on purpose with an AR. And he looked at me, and I was like, "No, I don't know what's going on." Now, listen, don't. I acknowledge that I'm supposed to be really. Yeah, I'm training. Okay, so please don't get mad at me. Please come back on the show. I'm not. I know it was 13 years ago. Okay, but I went up there and missed the damn target. He supposed to be up for 5 yards. I'm just missing the target on purpose, and he's looking at me. And I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it's off. Oh man, I must have drove that dude nuts. Every day, you couldn't take him seriously. But that day, for the rest of that range, I think I broke him, dude. I really did. I think I broke old Jeff Batici because I was missing that target for 5 yards on purpose with an AR, no less. Ooh, that was a good time. I wonder if he remembers that.
I tell you what, I've been on the range, and sometimes I sit there, I'm like, I don't know if I can fix this. I sit there, I'm like,
are you shooting with your eyes closed, man?
It happens. It happens, and sometimes it's years and years of bad habits.
Yeah.
Or just, and then, you sit there and talk to some of them, and they're like, oh, well, I only got 2 more qualifications left, and I'm retired. That's complacency.
Hey,
you get the guy like, I just need 40 out of 60. Just get me to 40 out of 60. Like, if that's what you're okay with, like, all right, just don't come on the road with me, bro.
Hey, and how many movies you seen where the day they retire, something goes down?
Something goes down.
I mean, movies can mimic reality. So, but yeah,
it's funny about the movies. You say that you watch the movies, and it's like the star of the movie's at the range, and he doesn't miss.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't miss. But then he gets in the Die Hard situation on top of the roof, guns and blazing. He's gone to like 14 different magazines, and he still hasn't hit the bad guy one time.
Bro, I can do you one better. He's out there, and there's a dude 327 yards away. He pulls out his pistol, shoots him right between the eyes.
Yep, Steven Seagal. The Steven Seagal moment.
Then he's in Then he's in a gunfight, right? Dude's 13 feet from him. It's like pow, 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 all over him. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I mean, I understand it dramatic, but damn, don't make him hit 27 feet away.
Funny story, and then we can close up on this one. So my second deployment in Iraq, I got augmented to what they call the military transition team.
Mm.
They take like 15, 20 Marines, and we basically are embedded into the Iraqi army. And our job is to train them to patrol, to shoot, to basically take over their own mess.
Right.
And I was with a group of guys, and I'll never forget when we call a turnover or a changeover, where one unit comes out and a new unit comes in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this guy's telling me, oh man, like, there's a good group of guys there like that, but every once in a while you get they call it the Iraqi death blossom. Iraqi death blossom. What's the Iraqi death blossom? He's like, you're gonna know when you find out, but basically it's gonna be you in the middle, them around you, and them shooting in every single fucking direction. I said, are they hitting anything? He's like, nope, that's why we call it the Iraqi death blossom, because everyone's dying. I'll tell you what, man, it was like probably a month into one of my patrols, and we started taking fire. So me and the lieutenant and the corpsman I was with, we took a knee. Man, those Iraqis just fucking went to town. They just started shooting at everything and anything. They didn't know what they're hitting. And the Iraqi death blossom, it just
when you give me that shirt, add that Iraqi Death Blossom underneath the damn shit, target. Now that'd be great.
But you know, think of that. Then sometimes I see that at the range where guys are just like, ah, fuck, I'm just gonna shoot. Bah, 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 bah. All right, did I qualify? Yeah.
They hold it like they're on Crenshaw sideways, you know.
Yeah.
But hey, listen, this was great, man. I'm gonna tell you right now. Seeing those videos, breaking down those videos, your training is fantastic. It's not just 000.com, it's 000tactical.com. They got videos on YouTube, they got videos on Instagram with these badass new targets. Who makes those targets again?
So we got the steel targets is going to be Grizzly targets, and then the Infinity Defense or the Infinity targets.
Infinity, that's right, that's what it was.
Infinity targets. Go on our Instagram. All the links are on there. All the promotion codes are on there. You know, we got a few people we're kind of working with. You know, like I told you, Liquid Drip was another one. You know, they just sent us some one of their banners is gonna be hanging up at our range. You know, so
and you know what? If you want everyone to get on for a couple seconds, couple minutes, whatever, one of these equipment companies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, we're on for a couple minutes, and you show the product and show how, you know, you want to demonstrate the product or demonstrate it with them. I mean, that's by
Definitely,
all means. Let's show them what it's about. You know what I mean?
I'll talk to them. Everything.
That's what the LEO network's about. So
yeah, go. We're on TikTok. I'm not really big on social media, but we do respond to any message you send us. If you want a certain video or us explain something, we'll make it. You know, we'll figure it out. But we're on there, and all the links are on there. Everybody we work with, you know, our classes. You know, we're real big about making sure we post what classes are coming up and everything like that. And we do offer, you know, special discounts to law enforcement officers who are active and paying for their own training. You know,
which is a big deal. No excuse. Get the training.
So
Jasen Ortiz and Gabe. But the guest is Jasen Ortiz. Hey, thank you very much, man. This has been fantastic, man. And I love that we're able to incorporate those videos. And we will talk soon. You know that.
Yeah, sounds good.
If you want to get your product out there, your training out there, please hit us up at podcast@leo-network.com. And I'll get at you and we'll get on here and we'll talk about it because it needs to be heard. Jasen, thanks again, man. Take care of yourself, brother.
All right, you too, Dave.
All right now. All right.